Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Josh Guindon, Poker, Salem Witch EMD, your World Poker Tour Club WPT Ambassador. Today we're diving into episode 10, Bank Rolex Challenge with a Twist at Boston Encore Harbor. Will we complete the challenge? We've dedicated considerable effort, time, resources to the Bank Rolex Challenge with a Twist with a goal to give away a prime seat to a loyal subscriber. Can we find some run good when it matters most? Chip up, give away a seat, and help someone change their life forever? Stick around to find out. I'm feeling good, ready to go. The plan for the day is simple. Play solid, stick to the fundamentals, try to chip up. We essentially need to profit $6,000 within the next 6 sessions in order to be able to give away a prime championship seat. We are combining sessions 10 and 11 together to make episode 10. For this episode, we start with $1, $3 no limit hold'em play, $2 pot limit Omaha, and finish with deep stack, $2, $5, $10 no limit hold'em. Stick with me until the very end, and we will show you how to win a $1,100 prime championship seat to the World Poker Tour Festival, taking place at the Wynn in Las Vegas. We're sitting down for some $1, $3 action, and when we wait for our $2, $5 seat, I haven't played 1-3 in a while. It has given me nostalgia. Reminds me of 6 years ago when we used to play with Rampage Poker. Very small stakes. And I would play many hands with him at $1, $3 at Encore Boston Harbor. The atmosphere is great and the table looks pretty average. Mix of type players with a few who like to splash around. We immediately get into some huge pots. Right off the bat, we're testing the waters. Let's jump into the hand histories. Interesting hand number 1. I like to put the pressure on. So it's starting out 9:40 p.m. We're doing $1, $3, $6 action. The straddle is on. We are in the straddle and look down at Ace-5 offsuit. After a limp from the button and a small blind all in for $102, the big blind calls reluctantly for $102. It was pretty obvious tell. So what do? Do we call? 3 ways with a weak ace? Doesn't seem great. Do we fold? We're close in equity versus the first player's range. Second act player, if they would have had a super premium, would they have re-raised? Certainly they would not have naturally seemed so reluctant. It seems like the player was between raise and fold. We briefly think it over and think we can get the caller to fold, creating a big pot with good odds, likely with a break-even equity situation against the initial raiser's range. We decide to shove all in. We call in for $600, and the initial caller in the big blind folded, and the initial all-in shows King of Spades, Queen of Spades, $312 pot. Our reads were accurate, and let's see what we've got. $312 pot, King of Diamonds, 10 of Hearts, 7 of Spades flop. And the turn is a Jack of Clubs, and the river is a 2 of Spades. We had decent reasoning. We took a spot, unfavorable outcome. So hand number 2. We are in the big blind. We look down at Ace of Spades, Jack of Spades. The straddle is on. The cutoff limps, the button limps, the small blind limps, a lot of limping. And we're in the big blind. Ace of Spades, Jack of Spades. We have a crazy image. We just jammed Ace-5 offsuit. Now we have a hand that is far ahead of the multiple limpers ranges. We look to jam, hoping to get called by worse. Further our crazy image and or take down a small one. The button player, we go all in. The button player is in the tank. He has $300. We have him covered. 2 minutes go on, and he ends up calling with 6 of Hearts, 6 of Diamonds. Flop is 6 of Spades, 6 of Clubs, 3 of Diamonds, 9 of Hearts on the turn, and river is a 10 of Spades. It's going to be a long day if we keep losing when we are 60-40 or even 50-50. So anyways, interesting hand number 3 comes down to us, and we get seated at a $2 pot limit Omaha table. We look down at a 4-card hand, Ace of Spades, 2 of Spades, 7 of Hearts, 4 of Hearts on the button. We face a small raise from the cutoff, and we decide to call. We got 4 cards. Surely we can hit something. And the big blind calls. The flop comes low. 7 of Spades, 7 of Clubs, 4 of Diamonds, gin. giving us the effective nuts. So when the cutoff bet's small, we consider our options. We think call is the best, looking to trap, disguise the strength of our hand. We don't want to scare everyone off, and we don't really need protection. So the turn is the king of hearts. When it checks us, we bet $100. The cutoff check raises all in, and we snap call. The river is inconsequential, 3 of diamonds, and we take down a massive pot at a low stakes game, $920 pot. Interesting hand number 4 comes to us, and we have aces. We're in the hijack. We look down at the best hand ever created, 1 in 221 times every time. American Airlines, ace of spades, ace of clubs. I raised to $20 from the hijack, and Jimmy, local legend, raises to $60. We think over our options. We're out of position against a very tough player. We want to get value, so we elect a 4-bet, $155. Jimmy and I have quite the history. He knows that I'm not 4-betting just with pocket aces. So Jimmy looks at his hand, considers his options, and he folds. He says he had pocket jacks. I believe him. Very tough player. Hand number 5. We look down at ace of diamonds, jack of spades from the cutoff, and raise it to 20. The big blind player, Lenora, who is a JD, an NP, and in Boston from Texas, working on a mental health internship. Thank you for what you do, Lenora. We have been battling all night with her. She's a tough player. So there's quite a bit of, quote unquote, meta game going on. She goes all in for $80 over our open raise, holding, and we call. She is holding queen of spades, 3 of spades. Interestingly, she lives in the Dallas area. This session was just after the Dallas Cowboys tragedy where a player committed suicide. She hopes to provide care for Dallas Cowboys, having an on-call emergency mental health resource, looking to develop this service for players in crisis. Best of luck to Lenora. So when the flop is ace of hearts, jack of diamonds, jack of clubs, she's drawing dead, 9 of diamonds, and 3 of hearts. Good game, Lenora. Up and down session. We finished session 10 up $300. Interestingly, across 1-3 no limit hold'em, taking some interesting hyper aggressive lines. 2-2 PLO, flopping a monster. This PLO exposure will go on to prove crucial, as we'll see in the next episode. And we played some 2 $5 no limit hold'em. So part 2 of this was from session 11, which we're going to combine. This is a deep stack, $2, $5 with straddle on, 2 $5 $10 no limit hold'em session. Heavy action, big straddles, big deep stacks. So interesting, hand number 6 comes down to us when we look down at king of spades, king of clubs from the button. Pre-flop, there are a few limpers to us, and the hero, yours truly, makes it $50 from the button, and it goes 4-way to the flop, $210 in the flop, which comes down favorable. King of diamonds, 10 of clubs, 8 of diamonds. Bam! Checks to us on the button. What's the play here? $210 in the pot. Do we check? It's a pretty wet, coordinated, dynamic board. Do we bet half pot? I don't think we want to scare everyone off. We elect to down bet to $40. And music to our ears when small blind announces raise. He check raises up to $135. Now what's the play? You go all in. It's a wet dynamic board. There's flush draws, there's straight draws, but as they say, scared money doesn't make money. So we elect to seem hesitant, considering our options. We call. Now there's $480 in the pot going to the turn, which is ace of spades. Now the opponent bets $300. The most obvious draw arrives, which was obviously queen jack, which would make Broadway. However, we are going nowhere. We call. Now there's $1,080 in the pot going to the river, which is the 2 of spades. The opponent shoves all in, $500. Basically, we only lose to queen jack, which there in theory are 16 combos of. However, with the large sizing I made a pre-flop, the player is out of position. his range would be heavily weighted to suited combos of Queen Jack, which clearly there are 4, so maybe we'll give him 6 combos of Queen Jack total. He mainly has a lot of worst 2-pair combos. Rarely at the stake are people bluffing on this board with this line. For this price and the action, needing to call 500 more to win a $2,000 pot, we think it over very briefly before we call. And we get shown Ace of Hearts, King of Hearts. We win a $2,045 pot. Hot start. We look to keep building. Interesting hand number 7 comes down to us with Cowboys. Once again, King of Hearts, King of Spades. We make it $20 under the gun plus 1, and there are 2 callers, 3 ways to the flop, $65 to the flop, which is Queen, Jack, Deuce, Rainbow. We bet $35, and the small blind calls $135 to the turn, which is Ace of Hearts. And when the action goes, check, check. I actually like a small bet here better. And the river is Jack. We check it over. The opponent bets $75, and we fold. The opponent says that they had a Jack. I believe him. And interesting hand number 8, pocket 7s. Under the gun 1. When the straddle is on, we make it $35. The button makes it $80, and we call. So now there's $165 to the flop, which looks decent. King 6-6. Action is check, check. On a 8 turn, action goes check, check once again, and the river brings in a 6. So now it's King 6-6, 8-6. So we check. Player bets $75, and we elect a call, getting roughly 3 to 1 on our money. Seems like a pot odds call. And the opponent shows Queen, Queen, and we lose a small to medium-sized one. Interesting hand number 9. Okay, here's the hand that really cemented a positive session. We're about an hour in, and I built my stack up slowly. I get dealt Jack of Spades, Jack of Clubs, in the low Jack. Under the gun makes it $35 when the straddle is on, and we call. Cutoff calls, button calls, and the small blind elects to make it $175. Initial razor folds, and we call, as does the cutoff button. So now there's $750 to the flop. Big one. Flop is 2 of hearts, 2 of clubs, 5 of diamonds. The small blind bets $375 all in. We isolate. We jam all in. We want to price out inferior hands behind us. And the turn is the Queen of Hearts. River, 8 of diamonds. Player says he had Ace of Hearts, 5 of hearts, making a play from the small blind, and he flopped top pair, top kicker. And now there's a $1,500 pot that we take down. I think with this Jack here that we just called the initial raise, this shows the importance of the concept of balancing your ranges. You know, when you call, you want to have some strong hands in that calling range. You know, you don't want to be super passive and never 3-bet, but you don't always want to do one action or another. You want to, anytime you check, players should be able to fear your check. Anytime you're betting, you know, that can be a mix of bluffs. So this is an important example of balancing your range. So hand number 10 is an interesting one here. So we've got pocket 8s, and the straddle is on once again. And let's see, there's a raise from under the gun to $35, and we call in middle position. Well, and the straddle is on, of course, like we said. So the flop is Queen 8-3 suited. Bam. We check, and they continue for $40 on the flop, and we elect to check raise to $130. So the turn is interesting one. 10 of hearts. They only have about $320 back, so we decide to jam the turn, and he calls. River is a 2 of clubs. The opponent had king 9 of spades, which really wet dynamic board there. He had a straight draw and a flush draw, and the river bricked out the 2 of clubs. So we took down a $1,025 pot, and we finished this session plus $1,900. So after these 2 sessions, we were building momentum. Our goal is to heat up, finish strong, complete the challenge, and give away a $1,100 Prime Championship seat. I ended these 2 sessions plus $2,200. Not a bad streak we were going on now. Let's see if we can keep it going to the next episode and build on this momentum. A couple key takeaways from this session that when I reflected on it, I thought the most important lesson I took away from these games was the importance of playing each situation, analyzing the hand, the player, and decided the most optimal play to maximize your profit. We had a very diverse setup across 1-3 no limit hold'em, 2-2 PLO, 2-5 no limit hold'em, finishing up with deep stack play at 2-5 $10 no limit, 2 sessions, and we managed to turn a decent profit. Now let's go to RunGoodRx, doctor's prescription to run good in poker. Let's talk about health at major live tournament festivals. Maintaining your health is of the utmost importance. You want to ensure that you are in the game. With that being said, this is not medical advice. This is simply advice from me to you as a poker player, insights I have gleaned during successful poker stops on my SunRun. If you are feeling unwell or need true medical advice, you should consult with your doctor. 3 quick tips. So first tip is sleep, which we highlighted in a previous session of RunGoodRx. But good sleep is essential to general health while you are at a tournament festival. Helps your immune system, ensures you have a strong defense. Hand hygiene, number 2, super important. Best way to stay healthy is avoid getting sick. I know that sounds basic and silly, but best way to stay healthy is to avoid contracting an illness, which is usually a virus. These events are almost always in winter months. Flu season is rampant. Thankfully, COVID is over. Make sure every time you touch your eyes, nose, or mouth, especially before eating, you had already washed your hands with warm soap and water or hand sanitizer. Very important, number 3, avoid drugs and especially alcohol. Make sure many of them are illegal. I'm sure marijuana, alcohol, these things. However, they wear you down. They'll make you ill. They'll rob your endurance and mental clarity, preventing you from running deep. If you are running deep, they can stunt your results. A friend of mine was running deep in a huge buy-in tournament, several thousand runners, millions to the final table, to multiple people at the final table, and during a day 4, he went out and partied after a long day of poker. He finished top 3rd percentile in this tournament, but didn't quite make it as deep as he wanted and probably could have. But he could have made a final table, could have made millions. Would his life have been changed forever? We will never know. Unless your name is Michael Mizrachi, probably best not to overindulge as you're trying to run deep. So these were 3 quick tips for Poker Run Good in this session of RunGoodRx. Good sleep, good hand hygiene, and avoiding those ever-present temptations. So now on to the Stream Team Family Spotlight. PacerCop, very good player, regularly running deep on Club WPT. He's won multiple diamond tournaments, Matt Savage Bounty Tournament packages. He's won first place in a daily tournament at MGM in Springfield, Massachusetts. He finished 261st of 9,670 entrants at the WPT Prime Championship in 2024. He's a Massachusetts State Police officer, most calm, even-keeled guy you would ever want to meet. The epitome of trustworthy, always steady. Been honored to call him my friend. We shared a lovely meal together in Boston, highlighted in this photo. He's got extensive experience with the Massachusetts State Police, including accident reconstruction, one area of expertise. You can imagine his many years of analyzing a situation and getting reads on people have helped him at the poker table. Excited to see his continued success. Maybe we'll be sweating him at a final table this year. Quite likely. We got major progress at Josh Guindon Poker as we look to complete the Bank Rolex Challenge with a Twist. We want to give back to the poker community, see others have success, promoting live poker, pouring our heart out to the community we love as we continue to build at Josh Guindon Poker. We're excited for what the near future holds. Many great events just around the start, about to start in Las Vegas for the World Poker Tour Festival. $1,100 Prime Championship, $1,100 Ladies Championship, $10,400 World Championship, and the Gold Mystery Quest Day 3 Live Final 100, which I'm hoping to be a part of. And the Club WPT and the Stream Team family will be out in full force. Looking forward to seeing everyone there. We truly have become a small family over the years. Familiar faces and new ones. Make sure you say hi if you see me. Best of luck to all those competing. Play your game. Have the confidence to know you have the ability to run deep. Well, that's a wrap on episode 10 of Bank Rolex Challenge with a Twist. We are plus $5,400 of our $10,000 goal. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know in the comments what your favorite hand was. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more poker action. I'll see you at the next session. Let's go.